Okay. So first thing is with the running club, the idea, and I'll talk to you, Anne, as you can talk to everybody else, is that we're looking to design, if you see down here, then the bottom, January, February, March, April, we've designed basically a full year. And if we, can you see this bottom tab?
Yeah.
So down here, if we were to look at, say, for example, we start training now the 4th of January, and we put in a good bit of training now for 6 weeks. In February, we're going to do some format of a 5K test or an evaluation. That's not like a full-on race, but it's about evaluating the progress over 5K. Base training means you're just putting in training, putting in the miles, so to speak. And in March, we're doing that again. So just back to training. April, we're looking to do a 10K. May back into base training, so on and so forth. But here you'll see things start changing in the summertime when you want to be out a little bit longer. So like August, people might want to do 10K. Now you don't have to do it, but the whole way along, you can kind of see what we're building up to. And then in October, the Dublin Marathon is usually on. We've set a target of half marathon. And again, I'll reiterate, is when these base markers are here, that's something to work towards while you're training. Not everybody will want to do it and has to do it, but it's just about having a milestone to work towards and what we would suggest. So does that firstly make sense of how the whole year overview would look?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you understand it, hopefully everyone else does. Second thing then is the way we've written the actual program, and I'll just hide a couple of these so that it's easier to see. So this is week 1, day 1, day 2, 3, and then there's optional day 4 and day 5 for some people who are a little bit keener. Here you'll also see at the top heart rate zones. So for example, you can call these effort zones if you want to. That gray is just warming up, going really, really, really slow, just getting sweating a little bit. Light is just going on a very, very light jog, being able to hold like a full conversation pace. Aerobic is now you're actually training. So for example, here, what you'll see is that if I highlight light and aerobic, today when you go on your run, the heart rate zone for today will be light/aerobic. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Whereas on day 3, we're going to pick it up a notch and you're going to be working between aerobic and anaerobic. What this means, and I'll explain it every week with our running club 15-minute Zoom, is anaerobic basically means that you're working a little bit harder and your body's struggling to use oxygen as the main fuel energy source. But long story short, all you need to do is when you look on this program, you've joined me here today. Today, what we're going to focus on is just a nice steady run. Time between 20 to 40 minutes. As it says up here, keynote here is that if you are a beginner, start with a time that you're comfortable with. So that might be 20 minutes today. Some people might be running a little bit more consistently at the moment, so they might do the upwards of 35 to 40 minutes. But we're going to go by time, just so that you can really just focus on go out for a certain length of time and work with a light/aerobic focus. Here as well, some other key points when it comes to intensity: full conversation pace, being able to have a full conversation, kind of like we are having now. Another key point is start off with length of time you're used to. As I said, if you're used to, and I don't know if you're running at the moment, but if you're used to doing runs here and there, don't start going for the 40 minutes. You're only currently doing 25, 30 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely.
So finally, the way these Zoom running flows will work is that it's 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to spend that time, as I did now, discussing what the focus is of the workout for the day. Clients ask, or the runners will ask questions based upon the workout. And then from there, what we do is we'll put unshare the screen. And then what we'll do is we'll get into actually a full warm up for 10 to 15 minutes. Then what we'll do again, when we've done that full warm up, is we'll pop the screen up again just before we log off. We go through what you're doing, any final questions, out you go for that run. Then finally, when you finish that run, you'll come back and then you'll log on WhatsApp, say, yeah, finish the run, felt okay, well done guys. So you have that community feel. So the goal is the accountability. It's at 6 p.m. Second thing is know exactly what you're doing and we can individualize a little bit if you're struggling. And thirdly as well is that you know that when you log off, everybody's gone out their front door like you have, even though you might be not in Ireland at the moment. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. So